Does Chinese medicine really work? Can Chinese medicine really cure discomfort and diseases, or does it just put a band-aid on the whole problem? These are all questions that I asked myself when I took a chance and went to my first Chinese doctor. Hi, my name's Jen. I'm a holistic nutrition student and I am your new nutrition and gut health BFF. If you're new here, make sure to click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I have been dealing with my fair share of gut issues. These are gastrointestinal issues like Gerd, acid reflux, and gastritis. I was able to naturally cure a lot of my symptoms, however, they came back about a year ago, and I've had to start all over. Now, starting over can be very overwhelming, and for some reason, I decided to make this a little bit more overwhelming for myself, and I decided to go to my first Chinese medicine doctor. My knowledge on Chinese medicine is very small, however, my knowledge on healing herbs has been growing every day due to the research I've been doing. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this out, and here's how it went. Now, I found this Chinese medicine doctor on TikTok. It was recommended from someone on there, and they were pretty much talking about how it was very convenient for them, and they were able to get in and come out within an hour. This included the consultation and the actual teas that you had to take for the next 10 days. I live in LA, so the specific Chinese doctor was actually in Chinatown. However, I do recommend you talking to your primary doctor beforehand or before you jump into anything too crazy. All you have to do for your consultation is literally show up. There's no appointment or anything. It's all walk-in. I show up, I go inside the little store. There's hundreds of teas. It's beautiful, the amount of teas that they have, and they have this one wall that's covered with just pure small drawers that have tiny little herbs and just dried spices and things that they add on to the personalized teas that they give you. Now, what's really cool about this is that they are personalized and you do get to consult a Chinese medicine doctor. When we got there was quite a bit of line, so we did have to wait about an hour to meet him. However, we did get there around a bad time. We got there around like 1 p.m. So go early if you're gonna go to this specific one. Now, right before the consultation was about to start and I was up next to go into the office, one of the employees told me that I should be aware that the Chinese doctor does not speak a lick of English, or at least not that much English, and that I should use a translating app or some type of translating website to speak with him. What he does when you go in there is he checks your wrist, like this part of your wrist, and then he also checks your tongue, like you have to stick your tongue out. He looks at it for a little bit. I told him I had gastritis in the past. It was very short. The whole thing probably took like 10 minutes or maybe less. Right after I showed him what I was kind of feeling and what my symptoms were, he pretty much just nodded and started taking a bunch of notes on the things that he wanted to give me as my personalized teas. Now, mind you, after I got my prescribed teas, like the paper that he gives you, I noticed that a lot of them weren't easily translatable. Like if I were to look them up and try to translate them, they translated into something that just didn't really make sense. That kind of freaked me out a little bit because I had no idea exactly what was being prescribed to me and I was not being fully clearly communicated. I'm 100% sure what he was giving me was what he thought was best for me or what he thought was best for the symptoms that I had. And I'm also 100% sure that there's actual Chinese medicine doctors out there that will communicate with you clearly. It was just my experience. Now, it did take another 50 minutes to an hour for me to actually receive the teas. So I took a stroll around Chinatown and I came back to pick them up right after. The consultation was $15. He asks for you to pay in it right there. Thank God I had cash on me. I don't know if he takes card, but I paid with my cash, and then when it came to the actual teas, they do take card, and the actual teas were $75. So how many teas did they give me? They gave me 5 bags and I was supposed to use them for the next 10 days. Now, each bag was supposed to count for 2 days, so I reused those same herbs and those same teas for 2 days. So how do you make the teas? They briefly explain to you how you make the teas when you go and pick them up, and she pretty much shows you like a graph. I can put it up here on the screen, and kind of like an illustration of how it should be done. It should be done in high heat for 45 minutes to an hour. You put 6 to 7 cups of water in a stainless steel pan and you put all the herbs in there. You let them simmer and boil for the next hour, and they really recommend that you drink the tea hot or somewhat warm. They say that you can actually make it in batches and you can take it to work with you and reheat it or put it in a stainless steel mug. Okay, so fast forward, I tried the treatment for the next 10 days. I did reuse one bag for 3 days. It still worked out fine. It still tasted fine. The taste of it was actually really bitter. It was kind of like a dirt type of smell. It smelled like fresh soil in a way. So if you like that smell, This might be for you. For a lot of people, it's very different. It can be even more bitter than what I received. I've actually had an experience with teas before a long time ago. I had really bad rosacea, which is when your skin and your cheeks get really red. And I went to one of these like dermatologists. She gave me the first batch for 15 days and it was about $300, including the consultation. So thinking back now, this was a lot cheaper. My most current experience with the Chinese medicine, and I think that's why I came in this so confident, because I did see some type of small changes in my skin when I took my last teas with that dermatologist, and in this case I kind of was hoping to get something similar. So when do you take the teas? They actually recommend that you take the teas twice a day if you're just starting off. It's 1 full cup, so you take half a cup in the beginning of the day and then half a cup around 2-3 p.m., like around lunchtime, right after lunch. It always has to be after a meal or so that you're not really taking it on an empty stomach. If you're used to the treatment, you take it once a day, the full cup in the middle of the day. Okay, so what actually worked in my experience? I took the teas and I believe it was till the second day or so, I started feeling that it was debloating me. A lot of the herbs were helping me in terms of like I wasn't as bloated anymore. My reflux also went down after my meals, especially because I would take the tea after my meals, especially during lunch, and I did feel like it was bringing some type of soothing feeling. The reflux wasn't as bad. I didn't feel like I was burping up acid. I didn't feel like there was like a painful stomach. And while I did see those benefits and they were getting me a little excited about the progress that I was making, I also realized that as soon as I stopped taking the teas, I felt it once again. And I don't know if it was because I wasn't taking it for long enough. I actually asked one of the employees there, asking how long it was going to take for me to start feeling better, or if I had to come back, and they did say that I had to come back. That was the thing. It was they gave it to you for 10 days, you come back, you let them know how you feel, and he'll either give you the same amount of teas for the next 10 days, or he'll probably just change it up a little bit and then see how you feel. Some people have taken it for 2-3 months and they keep coming back. Now here's what didn't really work. It wasn't necessarily the teas as much, because I did see some type of benefit with taking the teas. It was more so the way that the treatment was structured, because you had to keep coming back until you felt better. However, there was no clear communication between you and the doctor, so it wasn't like you knew if you were feeling better or if you were doing better or, you know, what was going on. Also, they don't really keep a record of exactly what you're taking or exactly what you're doing. So if you keep coming back with the same symptoms or with slightly better symptoms, they won't know how to gauge it, if you know what I mean. A lot of people actually go in for a lot different reasons, like weight loss and high cholesterol and stuff like that. And I'm a fair believer that herbs can help with that. However, it does feel kind of like an endless treatment, like something that you don't see an end to, you don't see a progress with, because you're not updating that doctor. And while I do respect the doctor and everyone who works there and what they do, because it's amazing what they do, and I'm sure they've helped tons of people, I just personally did not have like a crazy amazing experience that completely transformed my stomach symptoms. I also didn't want to keep coming back and getting the same consultation every time, and also maybe getting even the same results every time, the same herbs, nothing that really fully changed. Another thing, after taking them for a while, I did not feel like it was worth it for me to keep driving down to downtown and for me to actually spend all that money, like $100 every 10 days for me to see results. I feel like there is an easier way for you to go about in getting the right herbs, the right things that can actually help your body so that you can feel a lot better. Now, while my experience didn't show shocking results, I do wholeheartedly believe that there is a true power in herbs and how they can heal your stomach or help the process of healing your stomach. This is why I've been really curious about herbs and I've continued my research on it. Actually, next week's video is going to be all about herbs that can help with your stomach, how it can help with your bloating, with your gas. I'm actually really excited to share that video with you guys because I have actually touched the herbs. I have kind of played with them. I've been able to make different combinations and try them out and see the benefits just by myself, which actually ended up being a fraction of the cost. So make sure you subscribe and you join our community so that you do not miss that video. But for now, you can check out our channel or watch this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!